The more you listen, the more your mind opens, shifts and expands. And maybe you've already started to notice something's changing, because when you think about it, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you see yourself, it's already transforming in ways you haven't even realised yet. And isn't it interesting how the very thing that made you doubt yourself is the thing that makes you unstoppable? The fact that you question, the fact that you don't pretend, the fact that you seek truth instead of illusion, that is what sets you apart. Because confidence without depth is just noise. But presence, real undeniable presence, is something entirely different. And you can feel it now, can't you? That shift inside, because every time you doubted yourself, it was never really about you. It was just old patterns, old voices, echoes of the past, trying to tell you who you were. But you're not that. You never were. You're something more. And the more you realise that, the more you feel it. Because confidence, it isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing whatever happens, you'll figure it out. Confidence isn't about being right. It's about knowing that being wrong doesn't define you. Confidence isn't about faking certainty. It's about standing so firmly in who you are that you don't need to fake anything. And now something inside you is unlocking. Because what if the very thing you feared was actually your greatest strength? What if uncertainty wasn't something to avoid, but something to embrace? What if doubt wasn't a weakness, but proof that you're thinking bigger than most people ever will? And when you look back, you can see it clearly. Every time you hesitated, it wasn't because you weren't good enough. It was because you cared, because you were growing, because you refused to settle for illusions when you could have the truth. And now you step into that truth fully. And as you do, something strange happens. The tension disappears, the overthinking fades, the need to force, to prove, to try too hard. It dissolves into nothing. And what's left? You. Not the version of you that's holding back. Not the version of you that's stuck in self-doubt. But the version of you that always knew. Because deep down, you've always known. When you think about it, isn't that powerful? And isn't it funny? And once you see this, you can't unsee it. And once you feel it, you can't forget. And now, every time you speak, every time you move, every time you stand in your truth, there's something different about you. People feel it. Because people don't remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel. And you make them feel something real. When you think about it, isn't that the most powerful thing of all? And isn't it interesting how the mind adapts? How the very things that you once resisted, they now begin to shift, melt, dissolve. And something new takes their place. Something stronger, something deeper. Because the moment you stop trying to force confidence, the moment you stop pretending, is the moment it starts to become real. And you can feel it, can't you? That feeling deep inside. The realization that confidence, it isn't something external. It isn't something you have to chase or fake or force. It's something that rises from within when you stop interfering with it. Like the way a flame, it doesn't have to try to burn. It simply burns. And as this realization grows, something else happens. The fear of being wrong starts to lose its grip. The hesitation, the doubt, the second guessing, all of it fades into the background, because when you really think about it, being wrong isn't failure. Being wrong is movement. Being wrong is learning. Being wrong is the thing that makes being right even possible. And now every time a thought of doubt arises, something curious happens. Instead of feeling smaller, you feel bigger. Instead of contracting, you expand. Because now you understand. Confidence, it isn't about knowing all the answers. Confidence is about trusting yourself to find them. And as this new belief settles in deeper and deeper, it begins to change things. The way you walk, the way you speak, the way you hold yourself. People notice it because there's something different about you now. A presence, a calm certainty. Not the loud desperate confidence of someone trying to prove something. No, something deeper, something undeniable. And the best part, you didn't have to fake anything. You didn't have to pretend. You didn't have to force. You just had to let go of the illusion that you ever needed to. And when you think about it, isn't that freeing? To know the more you relax into who you really are, the more naturally powerful you become. Because now when you speak, people listen. Not because you're the loudest, not because you demand attention, but because you don't need attention. You don't need validation. And that is magnetic. And isn't it fascinating how once you see this, you can't unsee it. And once you feel it, you can't forget. And maybe, just maybe, that's already happening now, isn't it?